You're watching Backstreet Gossip, news talk, current events, and political commentary with your host, Ron Ludders. Now, let's return to the show.
Thank you, and welcome back to Backstreet Gossip on Hub Radio. You know, Ray, we really miss our bearded friend, but we were able to get him on the phone tonight, and that's Alexander Kolodin. Alex, are you there?
I am here, Ron.
Okay, well, we still have the sign up that says don't tap on the table, but you can tap on the table wherever you're at, but just don't do it here. At any rate, Alex is, for those of you that don't know him, and I can't imagine there's anybody out there in television land, Ray, that doesn't know Alexander Kolodin. He's a supreme leader of the legal team, I guess, on the Arizona Audit, or at least for the private sector of the Arizona Audit. And he's a candidate for political office in LD 23, and just a really great guy. And he's done a lot of things recently. And I want you to tell us, first of all, what's going on with the Kolodin law firm?
Well, we just merged about a month ago with a firm out of New Orleans and Idaho called Davalier Law Groups. And now we are the Phoenix office of the Davalier Law Group. And it's hard to give up your own flag after so many years, but what we have learned over the past year and a half is that there is no national conservative law firm anymore, right? The Democrats have 100 national firms, and there's no national firepower on the conservative side.
That's right.
That's an America first, real, true conservative.
Are you playing the piano while we're talking? I hear you.
No. Sorry. I'm just driving back from somewhere. But so we decided that we really needed to help build that project, and that's what we're doing.
Well, that's excellent. The big one here, of course, you know, is Perkins Coie, and they've got an office right down there. I think it's on the corner of Central and Thomas, something like that.
Yep.
And
actually, there's a woman I went to college with who works for their legal team. Ironically enough. Yeah.
Well, you know, Alex, many people who watch this show are going to be familiar with some legal defense teams that are out there. You know, I know Jay Sekulow had Arizona Center for American Center for Law and Justice, and then there's the Legal Defense Fund and Alliance Defending Freedom. But
Sure.
you're quite different in yours from these other law groups. Can you tell us a little bit about how you're different?
Yeah, so look, there are some phenomenal conservative nonprofits doing litigation around the country. The ones you mentioned, of course, Coldwater Institute, right in our backyard.
Right.
But those are nonprofits, right? This is and nonprofit work is noble, but it has limited scalability, limited sustainability, right? The Democrats don't use nonprofits to do most of their litigation. The Democrats use big for-profit law firms that tend to attract, the best talent because there's money involved, and tend to have much deeper litigation resources. So that's what we're trying to build on our side. Not to take anything away from these other fantastic organizations, but that's what we're doing. And I also noticed in Ron's intro, he neglected one thing, that I am a candidate for state legislature in Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, and Rio Verde. Because
I said part of that. Yeah. I said you were a candidate.
Oh, you did?
I didn't say where.
Well, yeah, because of course we've seen the limitations of what can be done in the courtroom, and we know that the law itself has to change.
Now, there was some recent litigation going on with the state of Arizona and some of the laws that were put into effect that were also on the budget. And I know that there was a local court here. I think it was a court that said no, they have to be single subject laws that were passed, so this is illegal. But I understand that the United States Supreme Court is going to take on that case.
I do not know about the United States Supreme Court.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that either.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was the U.S. Is it the Arizona?
No, I believe they've turned it down.
Oh, I heard this.
So not exactly. The Arizona Supreme Court will hear the case. They've decided to hear the case. What they declined is to stay the trial court's ruling pending adjudication.
All right. Thank you for that correction.
Yes.
For some reason, I must have been doing something else as I'm listening and reading up all this. Now, we had the audit here, and I know that, you have represented. I don't know if you still represent, but you have represented in the past.
In the past, yeah.
In the past. But with regard to the Republican Party, AZ GOP?
Yeah. We represent the AZ GOP. That's right.
Okay, perfect. So can you give us an update on where things are? I know that things with the audit, you may not be involved, but I know that it was sent to the Attorney General for prosecution. Can we say
it was
that?
prosecution.
Yeah.
Can you give us an update on what's happening with that?
Well, the Attorney General has it under review. And so he's got a team. He's got some very good people in his election integrity unit. Some real patriots in that unit. They're going through it. They're trying to see if there's some criminal violations that can be charged. Of course, my personal belief is that there are, and so hopefully they identify those and start issuing legal charges. That's what I'd like to say.
Well, Ron, you're pretty familiar with some of the things that we know are against the law. Senator Borelli was on, and he said that there were some, I think 3 or 4 that are 100% against the law.
Of course, when you start taking things and deleting them off a computer, now the law, if I'm not mistaken, Alex, is 22 months. All election material must be kept by federal law, and I believe Arizona law is an extension of another 2 months. I think it's 24 months. You cannot destroy any materials that are proof of the election integrity. Is that correct?
Well, there's general rules regarding ballot retention, but there's also separate rules about records and public records. And so metadata, on election tabulator machines and on election systems is, my belief is a record and a public record that can't be destroyed anyway.
And then, hooking up to the internet, I think, is another one that's
violation.
Not supposed to take place.
And we don't know whether that's happened for sure, because and Alex, this is one of the things that's been always. Why are these people? And maybe you could shed some light. Why are these people so doggone pardon me, intense on keeping this information private? They've taken issues such as, Ray, we've discussed this many times, routers, and saying, there's personal or private information. Routers do not carry the information and store them. It just says, Ron called Ray. It doesn't say what we talked about.
Right.
Or even if we transmitted something via, a text or something, it doesn't record that. It just says Ron called Ray. That's it. Or Ron called Alex. That's all it does. Those machines still have not been turned over. Is that correct?
So the routers are getting turned over to a special master, and the Senate will be able to ask questions of the special master regarding the contents of the routers.
Geez, Alex, the picture we have up on the screen, I think you were president of the high school class in that photograph. You look a little worse for wear today compared to this photograph, isn't it?
Hey,
look young?
Thanks, Ron. That's what happens when you do 2 years of hardcore litigation against
right.
the Democrats.
That's right. This was pre-election.
That's what you looked like 2 years ago.
Now,
yeah, exactly.
Now,
it's been a hard 2 years.
Alex, correct me, but chain of custody is one of the top priorities in an election, because if it goes outside of that purview, the chance of I don't even know what word I should use. The chance of altering or finding discrepancies,
creating mischief.
Mischief, yes, that's a good word. It increases exponentially. I mean, chain of custody is primary in any election. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely.
And
true.
we know for certain that chain of custody did not take place. And Ron, when we had Ken Bennett on, he had said that there were pallets of duplicate ballots that had no.
And the serial numbers were not put on them, so
numbers,
you couldn't tell what was the original ballot and which was the corrected ballot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was indeed in the report, right? And
Yes.
it's important to know the EPM requires that, and any violation of the EPM is a misdemeanor, right? That's by statute. Any violation of the EPM is a misdemeanor. So anytime you see something that's like, hey, the EPM says this and it wasn't done, misdemeanor. And I think the report is chock full of those.
Well, one of the things that has been very disturbing to us, we did a little demonstration a week ago tonight, but I want to talk about this. I want to change the numbers a little bit that we get. The press picked this up, and my question that I put out everywhere that I could find was this an audit or was this a ballot recount? The information that was picked up by the press was a ballot recount. And as we know, for the most part, there was a couple of errors. I think maybe Biden picked up 200,000, and then they said, well, the Arizona audit revealed. No, it did not reveal that. It revealed that maybe there was a miscount, but it didn't change the election, nor should it. But the question that I've tried to use, and I'll use this again for the audience, I've changed it a little bit since last week. If I was to give you, Alex, $1,000 in $100 bills, and two of those bills were counterfeit, how much money did I give you? I didn't give you $1,000, did I? I gave you $800. So if we know that there's, and the number has vacillated, so I don't even know what the number, but it appears that it's between 60 and 80,000 votes that are questionable. So my question is, if that's the case, the margin of error being 10-5 or 10-6, a lot of people want this decertified, and of course there's a lot of people that don't want it decertified. My point, if you cannot certify it properly now, then to have certified it properly back then is moot. It's got to be decertified because nobody knows what that 60,000 ballots, how they went. We don't know if Biden got them all, Trump got them all, or the third candidate got them all. And so to be able to say that we've certified the results, you didn't, because you didn't know what the true results were.
So this is something, and I'm glad you brought up this point. This is something that a lot of lay people are confused about, right? A lot of lay people think the standard for certification or decertification is, oh, we know that we got the wrong winner, and that's not so, right? The Arizona Supreme Court has articulated the standard, and it is, are there enough ballots that are questionable to throw the result itself into question? And I'm butchering it a little bit, but
we understand what you're saying. Yes, as long as the error ratio was bigger than the margin of victory, then it's questionable.
Right, exactly, and that is an election that should never have been certified.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So, Alex, you are now running for office in LD 23. How do they get in touch with you? How do they see you? You have a website?
Yeah, it's www.alex4az.com. If you're in Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, go on, sign my petition, please. And as you guys know, I've been fighting like hell against the Democrats for 2 years.
That's true.
Longer than that, but the last 2 years really hardcore. They'll do anything. The Board of Supervisors, Katie Hobbs, they'll do anything they can to stop me. So, I'm trying to do as much as I can on my own, but I really, really need the help of your audience. That means the signatures. That means signing up to volunteer. That means donations, because these things take money. I'm putting in a lot of my own, but again, I can't do it myself. We've got a major challenge to fight. So anything you could give would be greatly appreciated. But love to have the support of your audience.
And audience, just so that you know, the Kolodin law firm was one of our sponsors. So if you enjoy the show, thank Alex for being one of the sponsors of it and help him win this election. We need a fighter in our legislature, and no question about it. We need people that are rough, tough, and hard to buff.
And we have redistricting come up. Do you think your district is going to be affected at all?
No, all districts are going to be affected by redistricting. But at the end of the day, I think the Scottsdale district will be the Scottsdale district. So,
Well, that's good.
Well, if they do these communities of interest, which is by itself, that's an interesting question, because I don't believe last time they did that at all. And of course, we know that the people in charge were leftists. And a state like this having 5 Democrats and 4 Republicans in Congress is just absolutely nutso, because they did not pick out communities of interest. Now they need to, and I would think that Scottsdale and Fountain Hills would be communities of interest.
Yeah. I'm curious, Alex, you fought very hard to make sure that the county recorder, Maricopa County Recorder, was doing exactly what they need to do. And you had some battles with the previous recorder, Adrian Fontes. And I think we were all pretty excited to have Stephen Richer go in there. His motto was, let's make it boring again. You're right, the Maricopa County Recorder. Although Helen Purcell did such a great job
for many
all
years,
those
she
years,
was there.
all
Yes.
those years. She was.
We all miss her.
Oh my gosh! And what a lovely lady. I had a chance to meet her as well. So now we've almost gone from the frying pan into the fire, because here we have. This is my opinion. We have somebody who was not involved with the election in that he was running for that position.
Stephen Richer we're talking about.
Stephen Richer, the Maricopa County Recorder, but yet he is standing strong and firm that everything was done correctly. And knowing that you were in the middle of this, and we were all there when we had you on back, I think, August, September of last year, going through what Adrian Fontes had done. And now we have somebody in there. I just wanted to get your opinion on it, because you were intimately involved.
Well, the ironic thing is when Richer was running, he was well aware with all of Fontes's malfeasance and really wanted to take the blowtorch to him. So I don't know if it's something in the water at the county where once you show up at those county offices, they give you a lobotomy or whatnot. But
yeah, it's almost as though, because he did the report, right? Correct me, bring everybody up to speed. He did the report on what went wrong with the county recorder, which
in 2018.
2018, yes. Which gave a lot of people confidence that, oh my gosh, he knows what went wrong. He will know how to correct things. And it just hasn't turned out that way, Ron. And I know, we've discussed this.
I'm very disappointed in Richer. I don't believe, I don't know, Mr. DeSante, did you ever get that video or no?
No, we're going to try to find it.
Okay, we're going to get it for Wednesday's show.
Alex, you're familiar. There was a video done by Bill Gates from Maricopa County, as well as Stephen Richer. And when it was leaked, some of the information that was going to be spelled out in the audit report, that they came out and put something on CNN to try to, try to derail this. And
well, what they did is they took the ballot count and they said the ballot count was the audit. And they even, Alex, I don't know if you've seen this, we'll put it on Wednesday, but it even goes by the title AZGOP. Well, as you know, AZGOP is a copyrighted name for the state party. And it said AZGOP declares Trump or Biden the winner. And that's pretty much the title of this.
That's, gosh, even for the liberal media, that's a heck of a stretch.
Did you actually see that video?
No, I did not.
I'll try to find it and forward it out to you.
Yeah,
so
you need to see
this.
It's pathetic, and Richer is right in the middle of things. You'd think that Bill Gates and Richer are joined at the hip on what their comments were on this thing. I said there was absolutely no evidence that there was any wrongdoing in this past election, and is it wrongdoing? I don't know. I don't know what you could call it. Quite frankly, if there's any one thing we can say, Ray, it's that nobody was in charge of this. There was no supervision. They just let it happen.
Yeah.
Whatever went on, went on. It's pretty obvious that the Board of Supervisors neglected their job.
Nobody was in charge, and Dominion had the passwords to the machines. It's like we were never in charge of our own elections.
Exactly.
And
they only had one password. I'm surprised I didn't have it.
Well, if they followed suit, it'd be the same password that they used in 2019.
Yes.
Right?
It was,
Username,
yeah.
password.
Yeah.
With all of the equipment. So why wouldn't the Dominion password be the same? Have they tried that?
Well, it seems to me it would. But you have to remember, and Alex, help me with this, because I've read this, but I'm not sure that what I'm speaking of is correct. But I understand there was one day in March of this past March this year that they had something like 390 attempts to get into the system or connections with the system, and that might have been through the routers. And of course, if you put 39,000 things through, this thing can only hold so much information. So the information that the auditors were looking for would have been dropped off of the system.
Yeah, so they intentionally purged vital information
Yes.
by sending too much data
That's
through.
my opinion as an auditor.
Yeah.
I mean, Alex, you knew I've been an auditor most of my life.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the things I would have said that was an obvious attempt to bury any evidence that was there.
Well, look, I am not I'm not part of the technical team. Never was, because I'm a lawyer, and if I was good at tech, I'd be an engineer. But I will say that from my lay point of view, that certainly looks like an attempt to hide information, right? When you seemingly intentionally overwrite the file, and again, we've got a destruction of public records,
Yes.
right?
Exactly.
There's a reason that the law requires these records to be maintained and not destroyed.
And then, of course, when they supposedly have people on video deleting records, that is we now know the names. It's not public information, but we do know the names from our sources as to who they were, and it's.
I hope you've let the AG's office know then.
I'm
pretty sure the AG knows.
I think. Well, we should, but at any rate, the video was supposed to have these people on it, and they were significant players in the election.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, Alex, we appreciate so much when you come on the show. Give everybody the web address once again for you running for office. And I want you to also tell us the name of your law group once again, because I know a lot of people out there need some good conservative attorneys, because stuff happens all the time. And you know what? Anybody can sue anybody at any time for any reason. So
the
it's good to have you out
other
there.
thing, Ray, now that he is no longer has his own law firm and a part of a larger one, you might want to tell us too the services that you provide now that may be different from what you provided under the Kolodin Law Group.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's part of the reason that we merged, right? We wanted to be able to offer our clients a more full set of services. So Davalier Law Group is a full service law firm. Any needs your business has, litigation or transactional, we can handle. Of course, we still do injuries, things like that. And of course, we do political law, and always have, and always will do political law. So those are the things. You have any of those sorts of needs? You got a business with needs? Get in touch with us. That'd be great. And then on the campaign side, website is www.alex4az.com. www.alexforaz.com. So again, I would be so grateful for any support that your listeners would provide.
Now, Alex, your last name, Kolodin, what's the origin of that?
That's a great question. Either Russian or Ukrainian. We're not sure.
Do you do that crazy dance the Ukrainians do?
I wish. I can't dance at all.
Okay, you can't dance.
Hey, Alex, have you been getting any sleep lately?
No.
Well, your baby, Alex, in all of this, ladies and gentlemen, Alex became a father as well.
Yeah.
So it's got to be pretty stressful.
How old is your child now?
4 months.
4 months old. Do you know, the next time we bring up Alex's picture, we should have a picture of his 4-month-old as well.
It was a little girl, wasn't it?
Little boy.
Oh, I thought it was a girl.
And
okay, that's good.
And you know what? He came out with a full beard.
Not
too.
last time I changed his diaper.
Oh, does he have a beard yet?
No, but let's just say he's got a little bit more fuzz than your average baby on the face. I'm expecting great things.
So, well, good luck and best to the family. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
And we want to
Thanks,
have
Ken.
you on again. You've always been so kind. Whenever I've called you, you've always been agreeable to come on the air. And ladies and gentlemen, help this man. We need him in the Arizona legislature.
Yeah.
No question about it. Okay, Ray, it's
Thanks,
Monday
Ron. I
night.
appreciate it.
Okay, you bet.
Thanks,
be,
Alex.
Be careful,
Best.
Alex.
Blessings.
You know, Ray, we've got another great show on Wednesday night. Fighting Back. And
Yes.
guess who we're going to have?
Houdini?
Bernstein.
Oh, Josh Bernstein on Censored.com.
And he's always enjoyable. This guy goes ballistic sometimes.
You got to stop by, seriously, stop by joshbernsteinuncensored.com. You'll be so surprised, and he holds nothing back. Here, he holds some things back. There, nothing.
Nothing's
He holds
held back.
nothing back.
Okay, we'd like to thank you for watching. We'd like to thank Mr. DeSante for the great job of engineering this program tonight. And we will see you Wednesday night. Be here. It's at 7 o'clock. Don't miss class. See you then.